Hello everyone, welcome to the Atelier Nikuzuki live stream. I'm literally just posting a thing to the thing, Instagram, and then we'll get right into it. Today is October 30th, 2025. I'm Katie, and I make bags and accessories from Japanese fabrics that I purchased in Kyoto and Tokyo. We're just going to share the link. So first things first, we got to do a kato bag that has been on custom order, and then we're going to go in and just see what I can kind of get done today. I've got just over an hour to be able to work, so we'll see what I get done. After I get this done, I want to work on the bookmarks and maybe the small box bags actually. Probably the small box bags because we actually need to, there's quite a few to finish there that then I could turn tonight and figure out later. I haven't been on because I have been fucking just toast. Yeah. I don't know. I wish it were not the case, but it's true. Alrighty. Ooh. Mute myself. Okay, cool. Chat is still not showing up in Streamlabs. Who knows? I am not streaming to Twitch right now. I'm sorry, typing's taking me a little bit longer simply because I have some pretty nails on. Yeah, so it has definitely impeded my typing. Okay, so this was a custom order for oh, where's your other piece? There it is. From Vibrations. Sue, she's top of the pile right now. Super cute. It's the little not quite party animals with them all like knitting everywhere. Love it. It's a good fabric. So yeah, first things first, we're going to work on getting the, oh God, fingernails. It doesn't impede a lot of my work, and in some cases it does actually help, but it might not help too much with drawstring folding. Anyway. It has been a few weeks. I finished a grand total of 5 bags for Fibre Shindig. Let's see, I'm not surprised. Last year, I didn't do anything for like a month after Knit City. So I'm quite pleasantly, maybe not happy that that's all I got done for Shindig. But honestly, I had a 10 by 10 booth for Shindig, and it was still full, so we're good. Yeah. In exciting news, I have actually found a, who's texting me? Or is it just my computer being like, you've got a text? I don't have a text. Yeah, I found a rental, like costume lab sort of thing that rents out, cylinder arm machines. So that is super exciting. So that's something that I'm definitely looking into. I could go in and rent the studio, but honestly 2 days worth is the same as renting the machine for a full week. Right now what I'm doing is I have to tidy up the studio before I even consider bringing another machine in here right now. So that's what we're working on. That's kind of why I've been MIA, even when I should technically be online sewing, is because of this like reset that I have to do, which I was working on before, but like now I've got more impetus, I guess, to actually do it. Yeah, we're still resetting the like fabric room from moving everything in at the beginning of September. And then if I am actually going to do the cylinder arm machine, I have to clear off this desk that's right here, because I have a space for it, but like that doesn't like, I have to move the desk. So, well, basically what will end up happening is I'll just sell the desk because really I'm not using it. It's just a dump place. And I would still put another little desk or something there, but something that actually will be, because I still have to have somewhere for the, that stuff that we're using, like the snap presses and things like that. But honestly, they could also just live on the actual drawers that the snap presses are on. So, I don't know. I did not get all of the, or any of the needle stashers done for Knit City, so that is something that we need to focus in on. In fact, my snap presses are still upstairs because I took them to Vancouver and have yet to move them back downstairs because they're heavy AF. Not as heavy as an industrial machine, however. I am glad that I took the presses, although the Dundurn totes, I cannot leave them that long again. They do have to be done earlier in the process, I think, or at least at home where I'm not quite so rushed, probably. So anyway, we're working on the Kato here. As much as I'm like production sewing and we should be doing all the interiors and blah, 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 blahs, this is actually working well too. Gotta do my counts again, but I'm pretty sure we're moving towards not doing large box bags anymore. They just have not been selling well this year. And it's kind of been a trend the last couple of years. Like, if I'm not basing this on just 1 year of data because that's dumb. But it is looking more and more like we will cut out the large box bags. This pile of tote bags that I have currently is the last pile of tote bags that I will be doing for a very long time if I ever come back to making them, because they just aren't selling either. And it's like, okay, so it's just not worth the time, my time to put into that. I may as well be selling the stuff that is selling, or sewing the stuff that is selling, which are the Kato and the minis and like the slings. So that's what we're going to focus in on, I think, over the next bit. I did go and buy a bunch of wax canvas, almost 13 meters, which if you know, you know, that's a significant investment. Basically what it does is it sets me up for 2 backpacks and 2 Dundurn totes out of each color. So that's what we'll probably be going in to do. And so that's what I'm trying to kind of set myself up for the cylinder machine, is that I would be able to do all this work and then basically just have those last couple of steps, because most of the work does still occur on my flat deck. Like, you can use a cylinder arm. A lot of cylinder arms have a flat deck on it, or flat bed. But basically I would just leave it to the smash together point. And I just, oh man, I still really want to buy a cylinder arm machine, but honestly, renting it, I would have to rent, or if I rented it for 22 weeks, that's how long it would be, where it would actually make sense for me to purchase my own. I am at the point where I think it is worth purchasing my own. It's just not quite there yet. Well, okay, the cash flow is not there yet for it, so we'll get it figured out. And it is a lot of fabric money, so that's kind of it too, is it's like, I think this, as much as I want to be like, yes, cylinder arm machine, I think this year is just not the year for it right now. So I think renting one is a nice kind of in between. I am not looking forward to having to move that thing in and out of the house. It's really tempting to maybe just be like, can we just, like, Dallas has a little bit of a, it won't fit in his office, never mind. I was like, maybe we just move it into the office, but no. And I also don't want the kids having like full access to it at any point. So, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It'd also be nice to rent one to kind of make sure that like it is going to do what I need it to do. So first step is to actually get the studio set up for a rental machine or any other, like a second machine. And then the second step is to have, I want to obviously then capitalize on how long I have the machine for, or capitalize on what I'm like sewing. So I think it'll be a New Year's thing But we'll see how I do getting like everything together too. I'm like, it'll be December, but I'm kind of like also, December is, I don't know, Christmassy time. Maybe it will be, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. It's all good. This is the royal we, me, myself, and I. Anyway. So, right now we're just working on a custom order for a Kato, and then I think after that we'll go in and we're going to work on a, like once this is fully done, we'll go in and do the small box bags. I may as well like sew a few more and then I can turn them once I pick up the kids and we can go from there. All right, I gotta swap out the thread. Damn thread. Why can't it just change color? Because I need to, and why I'm changing out the thread is because I need to top stitch the base of the Kato. This is why we produce the, at least the exteriors a lot. So now the rest of the top stitching will be in white. But this one step has to be black because the canvas is black, and having white top stitching on black is just no. I dropped the goddamn bobbin case. Ah, oh, now there's dust everywhere and oil. Okay. Of course, now the bobbin case is slipperier. There we go. I have invested in a new little space heater for the basement. I don't know. It's warm in here today, actually. But basically it's got a fan function. So if nothing else, it's actually going to move the air around better. And the other big thing I was looking at is that I don't want the kids down with the other space heaters that I have. And even the cats in some ways, because they're just, the like open, the ceramic can be touched and stuff like that. So I'm just like, And Costco had a good deal on one that was like, so the heat, like obviously the exterior plastic can still get hot, so we don't want them touching it anyway. But the actual like, not the element, but the cover is covered. And with the fan, it like moves, it'll move the heat around more effectively as well. It is supposed to work with only one in the room, so it's tucked over in their seating space right now. I can always move it around too. So I'm hoping that is better, because honestly the other two baseboard heaters were effective, but they're so expensive to run last year. Now, was I more comfortable? Not really, actually. And I'm not expecting amazing results, like, but I also, the basement last year recorded at 11 degrees Celsius, and that is it starts to be a very unpleasant temperature to work at, especially when you're sitting. So we'll see. Oh yeah, I did my last race of the year. I did not do well. I think multiple factors. I was not set up for success. Well, I was set up for success, but I was not set up for a PR. The course was fucking difficult. I didn't realize that it was that difficult of course, because it was like, well, it's Red Deer and it's down along the river. Yeah, no. It was like undulating the whole way. And then on top of that, it was like 4 kilometers of 21. So 20% of this race, or damn close, was in an off-leash dog park. So you ran out through it and you ran back through it. I had gut issues because I am currently on Ozempic for weight loss and diabetes. And we had just upped the dose on the Monday, so I didn't know how, like, where my limits were at the time. And yeah, it was a very rude weekend for that. Sorry, just clicked you on the desk. But you know, we survived. Once I figured out that it just, like, it's pretty easy to tell even at the beginning. I was like, oh yeah, this is just not going to go the way that I planned. I also haven't been super consistent training this summer, like just all these sorts of factors. And yeah, so I did not do as well as I thought. I was actually my second slowest time, recorded time. Fernie was 320 flat, no, like all zeros. And this was like 307 or something, like 307, 312 and some change somewhere in there. Oh, third slowest time. Sorry, because Disney would have been as slow or slower. But they modified the course, so I don't know what my timing there would have actually been. Anyway, so yeah, it was whatever. It happens. It's done. We're going straight into marathon training because I'm running Osaka Marathon in February. And basically we're just not letting up. I did not do, well, okay. I didn't run on Monday or yesterday, but yesterday was really shitty outside, like stupid windy, and I could have run on the treadmill, but I didn't. I did do my leg day workout though, and I am so sore from it. And part of why I didn't end up running is because I was, okay, excuses, I know, blah, blah, blah. But part of why I didn't end up running is because I actually went to physio so I'm doing pelvic floor physio because I do have a little bit of like ab separation from the kiddos, and it is tight. Not anything that causes any issues right now, but obviously we want to work on this now instead of later, blah, 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 blah. And I also want to start back into yoga and things, and so I kind of want a little bit of guidance on like, okay, so what are we looking that I might need to modify and things like that, because it's like I don't think I have any like endomine or anything like that, but it's like, okay, where am I watching for these symptoms and stuff? Whatever. Yoga went, actually, restarted spin yoga today. Tomorrow will be the first run back after now, which is fine too. That's pretty good. It gave my body a little bit of recovery time. Gave my brain some mental recovery time. That might actually be the more important portion of this for this race. Yeah, and anyway, I was doing physio and she needled my leg. I was like, okay, I agree the pelvic floor is tight, but honestly, I think it's translating from hip flexors and everything like that. So she checked the hip flexors and yeah, super fucking tight. And actually more so in that like side, it's still sore, side glute area. So she needled that, and it was just like afterwards I was sore and I didn't want to irritate it with a run. So now today I am sore from my little light weights that I did yesterday. I feel so like weirded out by it because I go and squat at the gym and I can squat like, or at least I could before the summer, like 80 pounds. Yesterday I squatted with 25 pounds and yeah, feel all of it. So it's still effective, obviously, if I'm feeling it in my muscles today. So I'm happy with that. But it's like, really? Ugh. And I usually go with 80 pounds at the gym because, like, the two kids are about 80 pounds. And usually I can carry them pretty effectively. So, anyway, spin was really good. This teacher for the yoga class was really good. If you've been following for a while, you know that is like, I have had some difficulties of finding a yoga teacher that I've jived with again. This is still at the same studio that I've been with for like over 7 years now, I think. This is Study in Cochrane. I adore the women who run it. Oh, fuck me. I didn't do goddamn fucking D-rings. Ah! It's like, this is going so smoothly. Damn. Okay, I think I'm going to do the gunmetal. There's actually a set of gunmetal ones right here. And I think that's going to look really good with the yellow and all of that. Lean into that grello. It's not going to contrast too badly. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we'll put this one on and then we'll go in and seam rip and do the other one. Anyway, yeah, like I really like the studio and its space and everything like that, but we've all kind of, basically the yoga teacher that I really enjoyed went and had 2 kids, just like the majority of us, to be honest. And like just trying to find people that you jive with can be difficult. Anyway, but I really enjoyed the woman that I was with today. So I'll definitely, like, I'm super happy to be going back to yoga. I'm definitely learning the limitations on what I'm able to eat with the Ozempic, with some dire consequences some days. So, yeah, that's been fun. I'm really hoping that, like, I was really good at, well, we've only put the dosage up once, which is super nice. It sucks that it was right before the race, but it did make sense. So I'm really hoping that we're able to, basically we just try trading up, which means we just very gradually putting it up as the doctor thinks I need to. My A1C came back stellar, so that's nice. And so there's a lot of indications that it's really working well, besides the fact that I'm down quite a bit of weight. I am a little bit worried that I may not be able to fuel correctly for this training cycle, because I'm just like physically not able to eat very much. And the problem is with where we traded it up to this week is that the amount that I ate made me, gave like GI tract symptoms. So it's like, oh, God damn it. That's like, and running can already exacerbate that too. So I got to do a few things in this training session. I got to figure out, because the other part of this is you don't get hungry as easily. So I'm not necessarily actually even fueling on course as well, which means that I could miss, like I could boink a lot harder on the actual course and stuff like that. So I got a strategy to hopefully like get fuel into me on the course better, because usually I like eating my fuel, although I have noticed that the gels, at least when I was training, because I have been on this Ozempic long enough now that like I did probably about half of this training session on Ozempic. I did notice that the gels didn't upset my stomach, so that's good, because that is like one of the main ways to fuel. But mentally, I prefer eating my candy, right? Because gels are basically candy. Hell, you can use candy for fueling. The gels do have the benefits of like electrolytes and stuff like that, so that's why I typically use them. But I do prefer like the little jujube things. But if the difference is basically explosive shit or fuel in, I will take fuel in, which might end up being the gels. Don't need to poop our pants on the race course. Nuh-uh. Oh yeah, I felt so bad. Okay, so undulating course for this like Red Deer half marathon. Kids had kept me up a good chunk of the night. Like basically I woke up when the youngest crawled into bed and did not, like, drifted in and out of sleep for the next 6 hours or however long it was. Should have gone and slept in the eldest's bed, actually. That probably would have been the best option, but I didn't. It was dumb. I know. I own that. That's not their fault. That's on me. But also like undulating course, off-leash dog park. So there's also like lots of walkers. Like it wasn't just racers on the course. There was no one around to cheer you on except for the volunteers at the aid stations, which were every 2 kilometers at least. There was a lot. I will give them kudos. Lots of aid stations, lots of porta potties, like really well set up race. This isn't actually a complaint about the race, I guess, as much as it's a complaint about my fitness level heading into this race. And just naturally the course, which I was not anticipating. I felt so bad though, because you run also by the wastewater treatment plant. And they had a volunteer sitting right at the wastewater treatment plant. And I'm like, guys, this poor volunteer, I felt so bad for her. I'm just like, that has to be like, how'd you draw the short straw? What the fuck? It's bad enough for me racing by it. And I'm like, I'm not moving fast, but I'm in and out of there in 2 to 4 minutes, as much as I'm complaining about those, right? Like, ugh. Anyway, by the time that I hit kind of the 5K mark, I was like we're just going to treat this as a very long training run. Basically, it was the mileage I would have been doing last week anyway. And just finish. The nice thing is because it was timing chips, basically they hand you one to put around your ankle. Because it was that, they couldn't leave until after I'd given back the timing chip. And there's still 3 people behind me. So I didn't red lantern. That was pretty awesome. Got to cheer in the last set of people that came in. So that felt really good. You know, we're good. We're good. Okay, good. The label is on there. What else have I been up to? I have been buying supplies for the business because did we really need a restock? No. But I wanted to restock. And it's not a restock on exterior fabrics and stuff, obviously, because that's Japan. We did book our flights. We're booked. So we're going to Japan. Yay. So watch for those videos in around that time period. And we'll be going, yeah, there's lots to do. Dallas is going to run Kyoto Marathon. I'm going to run Osaka Marathon. And then hilariously enough, Dallas's cousin, is in Tokyo Marathon. And so we're going to go cheer her on in Tokyo Marathon. We were chatting after because she's like, did Dallas get in? And I'm like, no, he didn't get in because Tokyo goes to lottery all the time. And well, so did Osaka, but I got pulled from the lottery. Nice thing about Kyoto was that it was overseas people are first come, first served. So he just applied and, well, didn't even really apply, just put his name in. But yeah, I was like, do you want bells or not? And she's like, well, don't worry. You don't have to waste your time. I'm like, woman, do you want the damn bells or not? Of course, we're going to come fucking cheer you on. God. Anyway, talk about cat problems, right? But this is also, by the way, pure coincidence that we will be there on her Tokyo Marathon attempt. So that's really cool. We did not plan it that way. But I found out about it in May, I think, or something like that she was running Tokyo. And she was all shocked that we were going to, I think she thought that we were going to just come cheer her on. I'm like, no, we're going to, we were already planning to be there. So don't worry. Anyway, oh yeah, I get to call in and book our Disney hotel for Tokyo on Sunday. Since we're not making any or don't have any plans for US trips right now, we're going to use our timeshare points that we have through Disney for Tokyo instead. I'm super excited about that. I would never pay cash for staying at a Tokyo Disney, at least not the ones that we're looking at. But we may as well use the points because otherwise they go to waste. So, because I think they're even Disney itself is even cracking down on renting the points. Used to be that if you weren't going to use your points for the year, you could be like, hey, they're a rental company, and the rental company would rent them out for you. But I think they're cracking down on that too. So anyway, but it's reservations open 4 months in advance, and I have to call member services because I can't book online. And blah, 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 blah. So there's a bunch of things. But I'm excited to try and get a room there. We've got our cascade of who we will select or what room we'll select first and stuff like that. Because they just built a new hotel called Fantasy Springs, so we're going to try and book there first. And then if we don't get in there, we're going to try for no, just really far down. What was the other one? Oh, and then Miracosta, which is the one at Disney Sea, and then Tokyo Disneyland Hotel. So I'm excited about that because, yeah, again, not something I'd ever pay cash for. But 100% I will use what we already have to do this stuff. So, thank goodness for points. Points. Okay, there we go. Now we're green. So we've got the exterior ready. Now we smash it together. This is where the cylinder arm machine would come in handy, is doing this smash together. We have obviously, or I have obviously, like, maybe not perfected it, but I've definitely practiced a lot on the flatbed. Should actually figure out how many Kato I have sold over the years. It's definitely in the hundreds. Could even be approaching the 1,000 mark. I don't think so. I think, I've been making them I've been making them for 3 years. I think I'm probably in the 500 mark or something like that. But we'll find out. Anyway, given how many that we've sewn, I've become quite adept at doing this on a flat deck. However, a cylinder arm machine would make this step, I think, significantly faster or / easier. So, and definitely, like, the big place that I'm seeing it is right now. I haven't touched the backpacks again because top stitching those was a bit of a nightmare because they are finished with foam, or have foam as the interior interfacing. Their body is significantly more. This one is nice and soft, so I can just shove it under the machine, which is exactly the step we're doing next. However, a backpack with foam in it can't really be shoved on the machine. I'm also thinking that a walking foot would be better with the wax canvas. Anyway, if you weren't here earlier, I did find a company I can rent one through in Calgary, so I can confirm my suspicions. Although my suspicions are usually quite correct. They don't. My intuition about these things doesn't normally lead me too far astray. It's really tempting to do like a pre-order for backpacks in service of actually buying a cylinder arm machine. Would that be like, does that work for Kickstarter? Like, Kickstart and I can buy a cylinder arm machine and you'll be the first to get this backpack. Is that how it works? One of the things I did do too, so I'm obviously, again, we've moved the studio like 6.5 times in 3 years. This time I think we are finally fucking settled. But we basically just like shoved everything into that back fabric room again. You can't see it right now. I don't know why I have the door open either, but whatever. All right, better like heat flow. But I am actually going through the fabric stash and we are going to destash some fabrics fairly soon. Some newer fabrics, some older fabrics, some fabrics that I'm done working with. I think I'm also going to go through my scrap bins and just like do up scrap packs, like large piece scrap packs, mostly just fabrics. Either I thought they would be more popular or they're just, whatever reason. Or I'm just done with them. Sometimes you're just done with fabrics. Some of these fabrics I've had for 10 years and it's like just overzealous buying basically. And my buying patterns have changed. People's buying patterns have changed. That's fine. Ow, shoot, that hurt. And like, you know, stuff just shifts. That I've been sewing for a long time now. And, you know, you gotta shift with it. So, all right, how long have I been working? 33 minutes. So my estimates for these is still correct. That's good. I usually estimate my time for these about 45 minutes to an hour. An hour gives me that buffer zone of like, all right, you really fucked up and you got to redo a lot on it. And that also does not take into account my cutting or interfacing of the fabric. So an hour is still accurate for these guys. Yay. It's always nice when I prove myself right. All right, so again, another place the cylinder arm would be handy, but we are going to go in and top stitch this around. So everything's held down, and then we just have to do the finishing seam. Now this obviously does not include the drawstring. Drawstring's a separate work thing though. And I just realized I don't know where my Oh, they're probably in that suitcase that has the snap presses in it. Anyway, I was like, I don't know where my leather is for the drawstrings. Whoops. Also, if you haven't had a chance, I did do a floor tour of Knit City Vancouver. That is on the front page. It's actually like a video. I have linked to everyone that I could through a blog post on the website, and also like given timestamps for each like booth. Rule of the game was that if they were busy, you don't disrupt the sales. But basically I went around and asked each booth what their favorite colorway or product was as I could, sort of thing. And it was a lot of fun. It helped guide the tour a lot better than I have done previously, which I'm happy with. Rather than just being like, Now I did surprise some people of like putting them on the spot, but you know what? Whatever. It's all good. It was all in good fun. So, all right. Last thing. Fold in this turning seam. Actually sew the turning seam. My nose is itchy. Kids are super stoked for Halloween right now. Kindergarten is not doing a Halloween party, but the eldest will be able to do Halloween tomorrow with the preschool, which I'm very glad for, because they definitely want to show off their costume. Fuck yeah. All done. She's very cute. So this is the not quite party animals. It's like they're hanging out, but they're doing not really party things. They're just hanging out. Knitting. There's a sloth on a bunting here that's super cute. It's got a bunch of different like animals from Japan and not from Japan. I think one of my favorites that I just realized was here was the snow tit or long-tailed tits or snow fairies. Yeah, I really like it. I really like this fabric. So I think this is one of the ones, I think one of the things I am going to do, I made the joke about like opening the pre-orders for the backpacks to pay for a cylinder arm machine. I'm only actually half joking about that. I think I am going to open pre-orders because they're going to be expensive. The backpacks take a lot of work, like time-wise, and foam is not cheap, although I did find an affordable option, which I'm super happy about. But what I'm thinking is that I'll make like a few for shows, but then the majority of it is going to be pre-order, because then it's just easier. Anyway. Other decision I made is that I want to, apparently these expire. Interesting. Anyway, I want to, wow, it's just gone. Clicky, clicky, clicky. Sorry, I know that noise annoys some people. Anyway, there's something about the backpacks. Oh, the pattern calls for like a 1.5 inch webbing. I'm gonna go down to the 1 inch webbing. We're not gonna use the polypro. We're gonna use the cotton webbing. Oh, that's why I can't get it. It's because I'm not going into the right slot. Because I saw a backpack today and it had the 1 inch webbing and it just looks so good. And all my hardware is 1 inch hardware and blah, 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 blah. It just makes more sense. I could do polypro, but I think I'm going to do the cotton because honestly, I think the cotton feels better. It's not as rough in some ways on, like if you're carrying it without stuff. Like shoulder protection, I guess is the best description. Yeah, that's why. Also, if you've been seeing what's been happening in Alberta, yes, I am fucking pissed off. If I have not made myself clear previously, yeah. Teachers have been on strike we're on strike from October 6th until, 2 days ago, Wednesday, and the Alberta government decided that they would pull the notwithstanding clause, which is basically a get out of jail free card for them. and said you have, and forced the teachers back to work. The egregious part of this being is that they could have gone and put them into binding arbitration. I don't know how that actually works, but that was an option. Instead, they took away their bargaining rights, which like just defeats the whole point of unions in some ways, and said, here, this is going to be your contract, and suck it up. Alberta teachers are not looking for anything insane. They are looking for classroom caps that also reflect the complexities of the classroom, because classrooms have children that need higher supports. And so those have to be factored in when you're setting up these classrooms. UCP also did this whole campaign of like, come to Alberta, we have jobs, like in Ontario and stuff like that, and didn't increase classroom capacities for those families that they've been asking for to come out to Alberta. Yeah, this is not a bright looking path right now, guys. It is extremely intentional. If you have an uneducated population, it's a lot easier to do shit. And that's what they are looking to do. So we stand with teachers in this household, even though like we are still homeschooling, but not everyone has that option. We may not even have that option. Honestly, it depends on how the kids do in it. I am not going to my thing is I'm not going to detriment my children because of what I want to do. So if the alternative to that is private school or public school, that is what it is. And so it needs to be funded correctly. Our teachers need the supports they need, as do our children, because a better educated population benefits us all. Anyway, off the soapbox. I love how everyone left as soon as I got on that soapbox. But it's true. And it's also like, now that they've pulled this notwithstanding clause bullshit, it's like, okay, so they're supposed to be the government of little overreach. It's like, no, obviously not holding to that. And also, who are they going to come for next? Everyone should have been up in arms when they were threatening the trans community, and now it's good that they're finally up in arms about this, but like, who will they come for next? Yay. So excited. I have told Dallas, I'm like, there's the argument of like, people should stay to vote against this stuff and things like that. I don't think the UCPs are going to get back in after the stunt they just pulled, but I can't say anything. However, we've got 2 more years before an election is called. But also I've told Dallas, I'm like, if they get elected, and again, we have to figure something out. Like, we got to move. Sorry. We have no choice about his job. He will still be in oil and gas. But there are alternatives for what provinces we can live in. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. I don't really want to move. I like Alberta overall. I think there's a lot of progressive Albertans. I am not the only one. However, also, okay, I am vaccinated. Yay, we did it. Flu and COVID. I had a bit of like malaise afterwards, kind of like feverish, and just, you know how sometimes when you get vaccinated, you're just kind of off. Had about 12 hours of that. Felt better by the morning. I have had vaccines where I'm like, holy fuck, the next day. I did not have that this time. Definitely swollen. Nothing terrible. No adverse effects. Got Dallas's booked, which is good. And then it took me like 4 calls into 811 to get the kids booked in, because you can't book your kids online. I don't know why. You have to call in for them. Anyway, but fourth time was the charm yesterday. I got through. Only like not even I don't know. They're like, it's a 45-minute wait. And I'm like, I can totally wait, because the last 2 times I didn't even have the option of going on hold. It was just like, we can't take this call. And hung up on me. I'm like, oh my God. But anyway, called in, got it booked. It was like a 5-minute call once I actually got through to someone. I was asking a nurse friend, I'm like, can you book this or would it get you in trouble? And she's like, I can't. I can't even access the system. I'm like, all right. Feels like they have like one person manning the thing. And she's like, she told me the numbers that they had for 811 the night before. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So only one person is manning the vaccine line right now. So, yay. If you are in Alberta, remember that basically any condition qualifies you for the vaccine, if you are concerned. So. We just ran out of bobbin thread. Next bobbin is wound. Let's hope I don't fumble this one into the thing. Actually, that might be one place where these nails are a little bit harder to work with. Although not really, to be honest. It is still gorgeous outside. It is getting colder in the morning though. So it's like, it's also dark in the morning. I'm like, so depending on how everything pans out, I might still start running on the treadmill more, because it's just like timing wise, it makes more sense for me. I have put every single long run on the days that Dallas is home. Because I'm like, you, as long as it is nice, you are coming and you are supporting me so I don't get so goddamn bored with this training. Because like this week, this Wednesday, yeah. So my runs are Wednesday, so they don't conflict with his. Kids are in school, blah, 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 blah. The other part of this is that some of these runs start to tread into very long, like really long. I am faster than I was, but like 5 to 6 hours long sort of thing. So I'm like, if I need to send someone to pick up the children from school, you are here. So yeah. But yeah, I was like, if it's nice enough, ride your bike. And he's like, well, maybe I'll just jog with you because I need to up my volume too. I'm like, sure. Like, I don't care. Just you're there for support. Speaking of which, I think I actually need to go get some new shoes tomorrow, because my other ones are over 500 kilometers and I have worn through this. I've actually worn through the sole of the shoe. So I'm like, oh, great. And it's starting to wear out on the side too. I last hurrahed them in Red Deer and I'm like, yeah, they died. They literally died on that run. I don't know if, like, even if you're not a runner, if you've had shoes for a while, you can like feel that like slow kind of, oh, suddenly these don't work anymore. Yeah, that's where they've hit. So could I push them further? Yes. Am I at a higher risk of injury? Also, yes. And considering how long I'm going to be on my feet during these runs, both like training and racing, I need to take out any factors I can. Now, that does not mean I'm throwing the shoes out. Those shoes are going to become walking shoes now. So they'll probably still end up in Japan. And I do have a pair of like cushy ones, but the problem is that the cushy ones don't provide the same energy feedback that the like more stable ones do. So that's part of it as well. Ugh, I missed this. This is actually helping a lot because I was like, I've had a hard time, like I said, getting down to my sewing machine. I think part of it is the mess, which I have worked on a little bit, and I actually brainwaved a couple things last night that I'm going to get Dallas to help me with when he's home. I.e., because I'm probably getting rid of this desk that's beside me, I won't have as much storage space, and the snap. And I say that I'll put a desk there, but I think what'll actually just end up happening is I'm just going to end up using the top of I've got a rolling Alex like drawer set down there, and I think that's actually going to be, honestly, probably one of the better places to put the snap presses, because I'll be able to get more leverage on them on that chest. But the problem that I do run into is that the reels for the zippers are underneath that desk. So what I brainwaved last night is because of this move around, we ended up taking out oh, actually that was a while ago. One of the move arounds we took out like one of the IKEA lack shelves. And I think the lack is deep enough to hold the reels. And then honestly, if I figure out a way to put like a ledge on it, which actually shouldn't be too hard, he should be able to just screw a ledge onto the edge of it. I probably can just work from the reels on the from the frickin' shelf. They wouldn't move anywhere. So I'll chat with him about that. As long as they're deep enough to actually hold the reels. Anyway, so yeah, and then that I'll just move like the Maiko prints from Kyoodori are over there, but they can move up, and then we'll put the shelf like above. Well, yeah, it won't be above the print. The print will move up. I could also put the print over here, which might be kind of nice because then it's like, oh, but it shows up behind me right there. This print is what I'm talking about. I love how there's a whole like, what is this string? Oh, it is actually the USB cord. Just this like vertical line in front of the face cam. Oh, lovely. Can you tell I haven't streamed for a while? There we go. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so that print, or it's actually a set of postcards. Whatever, details. Doesn't fucking matter. But it could move up, and then I'm thinking the shelf could go right along there, actually, depending on how tall the snap presses are. The desk is a couple inches higher than the Alex drawer set. Now the other thing is like, okay, so will that drawer shimmy? But I still have this desk to work on too if I want. So I don't know. I am liking the workflow, but that is the location for a sewing machine if and when I get one. We're manifesting a cylinder arm machine in the next year, guys. Secondhand. Juki LS1341 for less than new. Like less than a Texo new. Big asks. But honestly, just any kind of, there was one that would have been within the price range that I really do like. It's a FAF in Calgary area or Alberta area, which would be good, perfect. They would service it. They'd put it on a table for me because it's not on a table right now. But it didn't have a walking foot. And I'm like, I wonder how necessary a walking foot is. But honestly, I do feel like for that, it's because that's something this doesn't have, is a walking foot. But I feel like with the kind of like the wax canvas and stuff like that, and some of the leather, it is going to be better to do a walking foot. I'm not sure. But I do think that might be a make or break thing. But it was so tempting. I was like, I want to say yes. The price is right. But it's not quite what I'm looking for. And it's like, I may as well, I'm making it work right now. So I may as well just wait until I actually can get what I want. Fully what I want. So, yay. I'm excited. I know this, I'm going to be ad nauseum about this, but I am so excited for Japan. So excited to take the kids. I'm excited to take Dallas back. I'm excited to meet my friends there because, I already have plans with some people. One of the girls that she did exchange like the term or the year before I did. She was on exchange in Nova Scotia, so that was cool. And she's still in Wakayama. So we're going to go see her. And yes, Wakayama is where the cat train is. So maybe we'll do the cat train. Yeah, and like hopefully a couple other friends. They've said that they'll be around probably, so we'll find out. And obviously meeting friends already there. yeah, and I'm excited to go buy more kimono and obi to work with. I actually have a couple of different places to go check out rather than just Temple Market. I think we're going to do both Temple Markets because it's kind of dumb to go and not do them both. Right? Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, and we'll see what happens with WestJet. I still don't know. I'm reserving judgment on what this flight is like. It's definitely like right now convenience versus like perfection. And then we've shifted the whole schedule actually for the next couple years. So the original plan was like, okay, Osaka this year for me for the marathon if I got in, and I got in. And then Kyoto in 2027. But looking at my progress this year and how it's slowed down and stuff, I'm thinking that Kyoto in 2028 makes far more sense. Also just makes more sense vacation-wise because my brother-in-law is getting married next year. Dallas is in the party. So that, like, and it's on a week that Dallas is at, like, would be at work typically. So that's already pulling from Dallas's vacation bucket. It's mostly vacation bucket, like shenaniganry, because then he also has to plot in time for Christmas. Now, this will change based on, well, it won't change much, but it'll change a little bit based on if he gets into Tokyo next year, because obviously we're still trying for Tokyo now. And when I'm saying next year, it's 2027. He's doing as much as he can to try and like get in, so that's good. There's a bunch of like, you can do like half marathons and stuff like that in the meantime for 2027 draw. And then obviously general entry next year, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully he just gets in next year. And we'll know right around Knit City time again if he's in or not. And then post Knit City, that's when I'll go through and do bookings for either I will go solo in like October or November, or we'll go together, I don't know, either as like a couple or family in like March 2027, for March 2027. So, and then I'll just boogie down to Kyoto for whatever I need to do down there. And then like maybe a one night stay for me sort of thing, and then come back or whatever. We'll figure it out then. I'm not committed to anything right now outside of I will be going back in the next year anyway, just without a race, which honestly I'm not upset about. It'll be good. So there'll be lots of Japan content in the next couple of years. I found a thing we are totally going to go try. I thought that it was only at Himeji, but it's a daifuku. So a daifuku is the like, I think it's mochi or some sort of glutinous rice sort of thing. And then it's like wrapped around something. Usually it's wrapped around, I think, like red bean paste or like various fillings. I had amazing strawberry daifuku when I was on exchange there. It was so good, and it came in around February, so I'm hoping that it's there again this year. Anyway, but this company, it's what was it? It's like Hon Warabi something. The one that I got influenced by for on YouTube was Edoya, but actually, I think that is its name just in general. Anyway, whatever. But they have this mochi, this daifuku, wrapped around a pudding, which is the Japanese, it's basically flan or creme caramel sort of idea. Oh no, creme caramel has the crack thing. This is the one that flips out and it's got like the caramel sauce on top. Anyway, have to try it. I was like looking in, because of course it was like Himeji, and I'm like, okay, let's see where it is. It's like a 45-minute train ride from the castle, and I'm like, okay, well, that's not that bad. We'll totally do it for something this unique. And then I found a branch that has a temporary setup in Kuzuha, which is an 11-minute train ride from here, Katashi, which is where we're staying. I'm like, okay, that makes way more sense. Kuzuha is actually where it's a big mall right beside the train station, and it's actually where I bought my Japanese edition of Sailor Moon. So that's kind of cool. So we can go do that with the kids and like explore a Japanese mall with the kids. Not a big deal. I really want to try this daifuku. It looked ridiculously delicious. There's also pudding store just outside Toji, which is the temple market we'll do the day before Osaka. And I'm like, I definitely need to try a pudding the day before Osaka. That totally counts as carb loading. Yum, yum, yum. Anyway. All right, so we're almost through the last of the small box bags that I had prepped pre-Knit City. This was the last of the batch that I didn't get done before Shindig. Basically, when I was sewing for Knit City, I was like, oh, I could finish these. And my brain went, I was like, all right. And I'm glad we stopped where we stopped, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to try not to go this over. Actually, I don't think I can go this overboard this year because looking at the fabric stock that I have, as much as I'm like, I'm going to de-stash some stuff, there's not much left, guys. So I don't even think we definitely can't do 100 prints again next year for the early part of the year. So it's like, okay, that we're naturally going to be less cuts this year. If you weren't here for it earlier, I am going to remove the large box bag as an option that I just make. Assuming people want to buy it, it will still be available as a special order option because it has been something that I've had around for a very long time. But it's not selling. So it's time to move on to things that are selling. I think what ended up happening is that the Kato kind of replaced the large box bag. I think people are able to understand easier what the Kato bag is for, whereas the large box bag has always been one of those ones where it's like, it's cool, it's very versatile, but it's hard to parse what you use it for unless you're like right in on it sort of thing. Anyway, that's where I think we are with it. Like I said, I was going to open up pre-orders this fall to kind of like help clear out some more of the fabric, so it will be available as pre-orders. It might still be available at some of your favorite local yarn stores, depending on if they order it or not. Like, I'm not adverse to making them, but I am not going to be doing a wild cut and sell of large box bags anymore. The same goes for the knot bag. We are going to discontinue it for now as well. Again, this doesn't mean that it's not going to come back. It just means that right now it's going to be retired for a bit. We're going to focus in on the Kato and the small box bag and a lot more of the like everyday sling bags. If you're like, Katie, does that mean you're going all to sling bags? Dallas did bring that up the other day. And the answer is no. You guys in the Fibre community have been far too supportive. And I think I still have a lot of growth available in the community. I just need to shift my energy to what is actually selling. And I do think that moving into a little bit of like cross stitching stuff and things like that's also going to help. I still got that Stitch and Go case on the thing. Actually, I saw a really good one that I don't know. It might not be the Stitch and Go. It might, what was it? Sew and Tell bag. But the idea was that it was for like English paper piecing, and basically the pockets were just large vinyl panels. So I might do a few of those as well. Be fun. And I got some other plans too. So, and the spring roll pouch. Spring roll pouch. Spring roll pouch. Gotta do the spring roll pouch. So now that we are done that custom order, and I'll wrap up on the small box bags that we are completing right now. Means that in the next, tomorrow, when I get back from Jeep's getting its tires changed. Because they are toasty toast. They were mostly toast last year, but we limped them through. It needs some more work. We got some of the big work done, but it needs some urgent fluid care now. But tires were also a big one. So thank you for everyone who purchased at Knit City, because you helped me do work on my Jeep. That desperately needed to be done. Now I need to go do some fluids. Anyway. Yeah, we are I do want to focus in on like some more slings and stuff like that. And I think that that is a good move for the business, but we will obviously always have some of the bread and butter bags. I think some more of the reversible drawstring bags are going to be fun because every time I've had them out, they've been like, they haven't been fast sellers, but they haven't been insanely slow sellers. And I think having a larger selection of that's going to help a lot too. So just some different things. It will also help me not be quite so bored some days. Yeah, I'm going to select like, I think 6 fabrics to do spring roll pouches in. I have 2 more shows this year. The first one being Ancient Arts Yarns Winter Wonderland pop-up, which is mid-November. And then the second one being the NJCA Craft Bazaar, which is also mid-November. I want to do some more of the small things. I want to do like luggage tags and bookmarks. Bookmarks have been super popular, like insanely popular. I need to get more done of them. There's a whole pile here, so that's going to be one of the big things we do next. 1, 2, 3, 4. What time is it? 4:45. We got time. We got time. Yeah, I don't know. It's time to shift a few things. I've been making large box bags since I started the business, so that's kind of why they hung around probably for as long as they did. I don't quite know what I'm going to do because honestly, I usually cut the large box bag and then the kato from the back. But what I was thinking the other day is I think what that'll end up happening is we'll do a kato and a small box bag because then you can do the handle from it. I don't know yet though. We'll see. I'll kind of have to see what I can do with the back cut. Although actually the back cut probably will could end up also being the stitch and go case because I think it's the same cut. And then basically just stay with the same cut for the kato, which would work as well. So we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. And I am not going to revamp those ones that I cut up. We're just going to cut new stuff for the vinyl front embroidery pouches because honestly, I think that's probably the better option. Yeah, I'm going to look at a few more patterns for them. I do want to do something. And I definitely want something for the stitch and go cases as well. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Shall see. Shall see. Doon, doon. More grime guards. I need grime guards and I need cake cozies actually right now is part of what I need to. All right. Almost done. I have a feeling we'll probably be able to get the small box bags to the point of turning, which is super exciting. I don't think I'm going to sew after supper. I think I'm going to do the plan of like sew while the kids are at school, tidy while they're at home, and then go into and maybe I'll be on tonight because honestly I have missed this. I've missed chatting on YouTube too. No guarantees. I feel like I drank my coffee late enough though that I should have enough energy to do that. I don't have to really cook tonight. We've got leftovers to eat. I gotta cook some noodles to eat it with, but whoop-de-doo. Yeah. So let's see if I can get these small box bags done, like to the point of turning before I need to head. It's almost pickup time, so, or almost time to head out for pickup time. Also just realized I probably need to, we've got a child going as a witch this year, so I might need to dye their hair actually. I think I said that I was going to dye it green. Just with some food coloring. It will wash out eventually. It'll be fun. Although at the same time, I don't want to get dye on my nails. Yeah, whatever. And if you're like, Katie, this seems like a lot of bags, that's because it is. It was almost 25 still. I think it was like 20 left. No, there wasn't 20 left to sew, but there's 20 left in the pile to like turn and finish. Yay! Whee! So that's always good. Oh my goodness, itchy head. There we go. Like that, looked upside down, and it was 4:45, 4:45, quarter to 5. I can't believe that this time next week this will be like 3:45. We got fallback on Sunday, which does work in my favor for like getting up early enough to call member services right when they open. That'll be good, but I am not ready for fallback. Honestly though, at the same time, I kind of am, because it'll be easier to put the kids down to bed a little bit earlier, and then like it'll be a little bit easier to convince them that it's time to get up and ready for school, because it'll be lighter earlier as well. I don't know. I have more mixed feelings about daylight savings time now as an adult than I ever did. Well, hell, even 5 years ago. Very different. So, pre-Kid Katie and post-Kid Katie do not agree about daylight savings time. There we go. That's the key here. Okay, I'm actually hungry. So this is the Polar Bear and Penguin Narrative Fabric. They're camping. Cotton linen blend. So it's got a nice like medium hand as well compared to a lot of the other ones. Well, the quilt cottons are definitely, what I see the description the other day, it's like premium Japanese cotton. And I'm like, yes, I need to actually put that in my listings, because that's part of why we go for Japanese fabrics. Is because they are definitely nicer than what I can get at like Fabricland. Oh right, that's what I did. I was gonna tell a story earlier and I totally forgot what it was, but I went to the Goodwill bins that are in Calgary, and that was actually very fruitful because I got to dig through and just find jeans that will work. It's like $1.75 a pound, so each pair of jeans is like $2 or something like that ish on average. And the nice thing is I was able to actually go in and get black denim, which I find I've been very lucky, extremely lucky, in that I've posted to like our Buy Nothing group and stuff like that, and have been provided a significant amount of denim via donation, because what do you do with broken down denim? Except throw it out, really. Or if you're a crafter, use it, obviously. But, so I've gotten a lot that way. But overwhelmingly, the jean color is blue. Sometimes dark blue, but mostly like, I get a lot of Levi's. So that like very light Levi wash, which there's nothing wrong with it, but it can be tedious to be only working with the one color sort of thing. I guess that might be the best description. Anyway, so I was able to dig through these bins, and I got a lot of black denim. I got some nice like dark brown denim and a brown, like a tan color, so that's going to be fun. I already know what I'm going to use some of that for. Actually, it would look really good with this cat one here, so it might be, maybe we'll make some for that, because I don't think I've had any cats in floral wreaths for a while. And with the brown denim to go around it, oh, so good. The other thing I want to try to do is some of the traveler slings with the wax canvas, and then the front pattern being the Japanese pattern, rather than obi, but with wax canvas for the cotton and cotton linens. I think that would look really good. Anyway, I can't do that with the denim, because there's no pieces large enough to do the back of the traveler sling out of. although that would be amazing. Not happening. But yeah, the wax canvas on that would frame the fabric really nicely. So that's what I'm leaning towards there. I need to do some more of the Dundurn totes with that whole idea that I was behind of like unpatterned waxed canvas exterior, patterned interior. So I do want to prep a bunch of those, and that's part of what we'll throw onto the cylinder arm machine once I get them prepped. So when I'm talking about the cylinder arm, I probably won't be doing these before these mid-month markets. However, I think that Tuesday after Dallas gets home, we should go pick it up. And I should, the problem is that when he's home, I don't do a lot of work. I'm like, maybe we go pick it up on the Monday before he leaves. And then I can drop it off the next, like, Wednesday or something like that. That could work, actually. Yes. That would work. Wednesday, Thursday, maybe, or even the Tuesday. No, because I can't load it by myself. The machine head comes off, and the table isn't bad, but it is extremely awkward, and I don't want to be moving it up and down my stairs by myself. I'm actually like, can we, like, move it down the side of the house, maybe? That might be easier. I don't know. Because then we could come in the door here rather than having to take it down the stairs, but, like, there's gravel on the side of the house, so I'm like, is that... Actually... That might be better because this side is mostly grass. It's also going to depend on weather too. I wonder if they have a long-term... Well, I guess, yeah, she basically already told me the long-term fee. It's like 145 for the first week and then 145 or 105 each week after that. So like I said, the math is about 22 weeks of rental. Before I would break even with purchasing one. So renting it for a couple weeks now, just even to test out to see if it's like would fulfill what I desire, would be perfect. All right, last one, and then I'm gonna go get my kiddos. I am going to try my best to be online tonight. No guarantees though. Watch my Instagram or hit the bell icon. That'll let you know whenever I come online for your viewing pleasure. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Well, but hey, it's a stream of consciousness. I typically find something to talk about, so I'm not overly concerned. Thank you as always for all of your support. I greatly appreciate it. All of our dollars, especially right now, are extremely hard won, and I'm always like super... I'm going to say super pleased, but that's not the way to word it. It's like super appreciative when you spend those hard-earned dollars with me. So thank you so much for continuing to support this little dream. I'm actually at 60% of my original goal for this business for like annual revenue, not profit, revenue. Yeah, 5 years ago, I was like, all right, we're going to give it a good crack, 5 more years. Let's see if it's worth it with the kids and stuff like that. It had to be more of a consideration than it was pre-children. And we've done it. It's worth, I think, well, basically I extended that goal for another 5 years. We'll see where we're at in 5 more years. So cheers to that. But yeah, I did have a good reckoning with myself 5 years ago, and I was like, all right, I have to sink or swim in 5 years, and we're treading water right now. That's where we're at. So I'm hoping that I can sustain the growth that I want to see again in the next 2 years. Because we're so close. So the goal being that like I can get to Japan every year to 18 months to buy fabrics, and stuff like that. So the end, I guess that being the end goal. And we're getting there, guys. Honestly, if I wasn't so overzealous in going back to back like I normally do, I probably could at this point. So anyway, there are some opportunities coming up that are super cool that I'm excited to share once I figure them out. Some different avenues that may or may not be like directly on my website, but through some different folks here. So we got some experimentation coming up. That'll probably be post NJCA, which is mid-November, because we're going to do the spring roll pouch, which is going to be experimentation enough. I did get fusible fleece so that we can actually make those though, because I tried it with the stabilizer and it was too much. So we're going to go with what was suggested in the pattern, because shockingly the designer might know what they're talking about, Katie. Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thunk it? Always like pushing the limits of, I am not a pattern designer. And I know that people choose these things because of their reasons, but I'm always pushing my limits for what we're doing. But anyway, the fusible fleece will also be less of a fucking battle under the sewing machine. So there's that too. And then after that, so spring roll pouches, stitch and go cases, and we're also going to, no, just those two. I'm like, we'll do some backpacks and some dundern totes. No, bookmarks and eyeglass cases and luggage tags, because NJCA is basically a Christmas market. We need some smaller items, Katie. Smaller items. And I also have a couple of the dundern totes to still like fully finish up. So better choice to just do that. Anyway, it's time to go get my kiddos. I hope you all have a fantastic whatever, whenever. I will hopefully be back on tonight, and I'll chat with you all soon either way. Bye.